Think about the last time you were actually, truly focused. I'm not talking about that half-hearted concentration you have when your phone is face down but still vibrating every 2 minutes. I mean the kind of deep work where the room around you just disappears, where your brain finally hits a rhythm that most people go their entire lives without ever feeling. If we're being honest, you've probably forgotten what that feels like. Our attention is being pulled apart. It's being sold off by apps designed to keep us in a loop of low-level noise. You think you're watching a video to learn something or get motivated, but really, you're just looking for a shortcut to a mental state you haven't actually put the work in to reach yet. People hear about the white room and they picture a physical place. White walls, minimalist furniture, silence, but they're missing the point. It isn't a location, it's a mental structure. It's a way of isolating your mind from the chaos of being human. Today, we're moving past the fan theories and the cool edits. We're going to look at the actual framework for getting things done at a high level. I'll show you how to set this up in your own life, but you have to understand there's a physical shift that needs to happen for it to work. If you ignore that, you'll just keep reacting to the world instead of actually running your own life. The human brain wasn't built for the world we live in today. We're running old software in a high-speed environment. Every notification, every quick scroll, and every shallow thought creates what psychologists call attention residue. When you jump from one thing to another, a piece of your brain stays stuck on what you were just doing. By the time you actually sit down to work, your energy is already split. You're trying to solve big problems with 20% of your brain. That's why you feel drained even when you haven't done much. You aren't tired from the work, you're tired from the friction of your own scattered mind. This protocol starts with a different kind of isolation. It starts by cutting off the social signal. Think about a guy I knew, let's call him Marcus. Marcus was incredibly smart, but he had a weakness. He cared what people thought. He was always looking for a reaction or trying to see if he was doing it right in the eyes of others. That need for validation is a massive energy leak. In this mental state, the first step is realizing that other people's opinions are just background noise. They don't matter. The task in front of you is the only thing that's real. If you want to reach extreme focus, you have to become socially invisible. You have to go ghost. This doesn't just mean turning off your phone. It means silencing the part of your brain that cares if anyone sees you succeeding. When you're working, you aren't a person with a history or a reputation. You're just the work itself. This is the baseline. A sterile, internal environment. No music, no extra caffeine, no little distractions, just the raw tension between your mind and the problem. Now, let's talk about that physical switch. Most productivity experts talk about willpower, but willpower is a lie. It's a battery that runs out every time you have to make a choice. High-level focus doesn't rely on willpower. It relies on a process called myelination. Every time you focus intensely on one thing, your brain builds a layer of insulation around your neural pathways. This insulation is what allows signals to move faster and more clearly. The more you focus, the easier it gets to stay focused. It's a loop that high performers use to move past mental exhaustion. But there's a catch. To trigger this, you have to work at the very edge of your ability. You have to stay in a state of discomfort for at least 90 minutes. Most people quit after 20 minutes because their brain starts to itch. That itch is your brain begging for a hit of dopamine. It's the primitive part of you trying to drag you back to the safety of distraction. If you give in, the timer resets. You never reach that deep state. You stay exactly where you are. To beat this, you have to use the 90-minute lock-in. During this time, you don't leave your chair. You don't check the clock. You don't look at another screen. Even if you're just staring at a blank page, you do not break that lock. You are teaching your nervous system to accept boredom as the starting point. Boredom is the gatekeeper. If you can't survive the boredom of the first 30 minutes, you'll never reach the clarity of the last 60. Marcus couldn't handle that silence. He started making mistakes because he tried to fight the quiet instead of just becoming part of it. This leads to the next step, separating your physical self from your mind. You probably think you can't work because you're tired, or the room is too hot, or you didn't sleep well. These are just excuses you're letting control your output. A great piece of work doesn't care if you have a headache. You have to learn to watch your discomfort as if it belongs to someone else. You're the operator watching the machine. If the machine is tired, fine, but the work continues. Think about a high-stakes moment, like a final exam or a big game. Most people fail because they're attached to the result. They're worried about the grade or the money. That's another energy leak. You have to delete the outcome from your mind. Focus only on the process. When a master plays a game, they aren't thinking about winning. They're thinking about the most perfect move right now. If you win, it's just a data point. If you lose, it's the same. Neither one defines who you are. That detachment is what creates that cold efficiency you see in the movies. It's not about being heartless, it's about being effective. But there is a cost to this. Most people want focus so they can reach their goals and finally be happy. Here's the truth. Extreme focus is a one-way street. Once you train your brain to operate with this kind of clinical speed, the normal world starts to look like blurry, low-resolution noise. You'll find you can't really enjoy shallow conversations anymore. Movies will start to feel predictable. You'll hit your goals, but you might find you've optimized yourself so much that the reward doesn't feel the same. You might become the smartest person in the room, but you'll also be the most isolated. You'll have the power to control your life, but you won't feel like a regular participant in the world anymore. You'll be a creator standing in an empty room, looking at something great that no one else even understands. Stop and look at your screen. You made it to the end of this. You might think it's because you're disciplined, but really, you were just curious about what comes next. Now, you have the framework. You know about the 90-minute lock-in, the social invisibility, and the focus on the process. The question isn't whether you have the information. The question is whether you're strong enough to handle the isolation that comes with it. Most people will go back to their phones in 2 minutes. They'll look for a distraction to forget the discomfort of these words. They'll prove they are just another person following the crowd. The choice is no longer about potential. It is about architecture. You can continue to inhabit a mind that is open to every passing breeze, or you can begin to build the white room within. This level of focus isn't a gift, it is a trade. You are trading the comfort of the crowd for the clarity of the vacuum. As you sit there, the world is already trying to pull you back into the stream of the average. Your phone is waiting. Your notifications are piling up. The simulation wants its unit back. But the moment you commit to the 90-minute lock-in, you stop being a passenger. You become the designer. The silence is not your enemy. It is the canvas. If you can withstand the initial friction of being alone with your own intellect, you will find a version of yourself that is untouchable. The masterpiece is waiting behind the door of your own discipline. Walk through it or stay outside with the rest. The signal is yours to hold.